Alrighty, we just had to make it harder on you, didn't we? So in this case, we have 3 values that we are going to either add or subtract depending on what is asked. Okay, so the first thing we want to do here is we first want to get a common denominator all the way across the board. So we see we have 2, we have 6, and we have 4. So let's find a common denominator using all of those numbers. So we know 2 goes into 4, that's true, but 4 doesn't go into 6 directly. So let's try to think of factors. If we did 8, 6 wouldn't go into that. If we did 12, all 3 of those would go into that. So let's go ahead and get a denominator of 12. So in this case, I'm going to say it's probably best to convert to improper fractions just since we're dealing with 3 values. So I'm going to convert 2.5 into an improper fraction. So 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So it's going to be 5 over 2. And then I am going to go ahead and start off and get the denominator of 12. So I'm going to multiply that by 6 over 6 to get 30 over 12. So that one is going to convert to 30 over 12. Okay? Remember this next one, and it's going to be plus a negative. We also wanted that to be with the denominator of 12, so we are going to take 7 over 6 here. And what do we need to multiply 6 by to get 12? Hopefully you know it's 2, so we're going to multiply that by 2 over 2. 7 times 2 is 14, 6 times 2 is 12. So this turns into 14 over 12. And then we want to make that next one also the same denominator. Once again, I'm going to convert to an improper fraction. So remember when you do that, you take your denominator times your whole number. So 4 times 1 is 4, and then you add your numerator. And then plus 3 more is 7 over 4. And remember, we want the same denominator of 12. So what do we multiply 4 by to get 12? 3 is your answer. 7 times 3 is 21. 4 times 3 is 12. So we get minus 21 over 12. And at this point, we can start with 2 at a time, or if you wanted to, you can combine your same sign ones since we know we're adding for same signs and keeping the sign. So in this case, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I see 2 negatives. I see negative, not minus negative. I see negative 14 over 12 and negative 21 over 12. So I know that those same signs I'm going to add and keep the sign. So I'm going to start off with those 2, and then maybe I will go to my third one from there. So I'm going to do 14 over 12, plus 21 over 12. And I'm going to get a total of 14 plus 21 is going to give me 35 over, I keep wanting to do that, 12. Sorry, I keep wanting to write 21. So 35 over 12 is what I'm going to be left with. And then, remember that's negative because I was going to keep that sign there. So I'm going to put this in a different color now. I have negative 35 over 12, and I'm going to bring down that other value I had, which was 30 over 12. And then remember, plus a negative, or I could have just left it as minus. They are the same thing. So now I have one negative sign, one positive sign. They are different. And that means you keep the sign next to the bigger number and subtract. So we're going to subtract and keep bigger number sign. So in this case, is 35 bigger or is 30 bigger? Hopefully 35 is. So we're going to keep the negative sign in our answer. And we're just going to subtract those numerators. Remember, the denominator stays the same. So we do 35 minus 30, which is going to give us 5. And we're going to put it over that numerator of 12. And then remember, our answer is going to be negative. So our answer is